Hello and welcome back to the channel Help Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. Coming up in this episode, could Des Hasler be suing his employers? Mark Applegarth names his Wakefield coaching staff. And we finish off the confirmed squads for the Rugby League World Cup in Group D. So we start the episode today with the news that Des Hasler could be headed to the courtroom with the Manly Sea Eagles over the rainbow jersey fiasco that derailed the club's season, as the embattled coach preferred successor expresses concerns over the instability at Brookvale. Sources with the knowledge of the situation confirmed to the Sydney Morning Herald that Hasler is considering a $1 million plus lawsuit against the Sea Eagles for allegedly compromising his ability to fulfill his contractual obligations. Under the terms of the contract, a top 6 finish in the NRL in 2022 would have guaranteed him a contract extension for the 2024 season. Hasler, if he proceeded with legal proceedings against the Sea Eagles, will argue that Manly's decision to launch a Pride jersey without the consent or blessing of the players and football department impeded his ability to reach the key performance indicators of his employment. Manly was sitting 9th in the NRL ladder when the rainbow jersey fiasco derailed their season. They had 7 players make themselves unavailable for selection for the ensuing round against Sydney Roosters. The Sea Eagles lost the game and lost the remaining 5 games of the season thereafter, finishing the competition in 11th position. The coach's future is now under the spotlight as a result. At the time of the jersey launch, Hasler slammed the management of the club. Since the end of the season, Hasler has been angling for a contract extension for an additional year beyond 2023. As a part of those discussions, the parties have discussed a succession plan. Hasler has been said to have anointed Cronulla assistant Josh Hannay as his preferred successor, although the Herald have revealed the club has a strong option of former Rabbitohs and Broncos mentor Anthony Seibold. Hannay has held meetings with Hasler and Sea Eagle officials who are poised to make a call on who will replace the Canterbury Brown assistant Chad Randall, with a view to eventually taking over from Hasler. Should the tensions between Hasler and the club's hierarchy result in the 61-year-old's departure, then Hannay or Seibold will be in frame to take over immediately. Speaking for the first time about his interest in the role, Hannay said he was flattered by Hasler's endorsement, but it would have to weigh up if Manly was the right fit given the dramas on the Northern Beaches, and said he's got no doubts he's ready to be a head coach, and said with all due respect to the position. Also speaking to the Herald, he said, "I don't underestimate the challenge of being a head coach. I've had a taste of it with my interim roles. I feel I'm a well-rounded coach, and I'm certainly ready for that opportunity. At the same token, I'm not desperate. I won't just jump at the first opportunity that comes along. I want to make sure the fit feels right, because I couldn't be happier with where I am at with Cronulla. I'd be loath to leave the good situation I'm currently in to jump into something that potentially is unstable." When he was asked, was the job a poison challenge, Hannay said, "There are things you have to weigh up if you're in my position, absolutely. There's plenty of noise around Manly at the moment. They are the things that weigh in your mind as you are making these decisions. What you're actually walking into is the question. Certainly, that's been discussed between myself and Des at the club, and they are absolutely the right things you need to think about whenever you step into such role. There is a lot of negativity around at the moment, but you can't deny the talent that exists in that roster. A lot of it was sitting on the sidelines at different times this year. But since these discussions took place in a stunning interview following an emergency board meeting at Brookvale Oval, Manly's owner Scott Penn has delivered head coach Des Hasler a crushing blow. Penn has confirmed that former Rabbitohs and Broncos head coach Anthony Seibold was a key target for the Seagulls in the search for Hasler's replacement. The friction between the Manly's top officials and Hasler has reached a point where it's all but confirmed the veteran mentor has coached his last game at the Seagulls, despite being contracted until the end of 2023. There was the interview about the court case, but on Tuesday, Penn had brutal words for Hasler. "We have a premiership winning team," Penn said, who is the CEO and chairman of the Manly Seagulls. What we need is a football department that can get us back there as quickly as possible. Penn's insinuation is Hasler is not the man to lead the Seagulls back to the pinnacle, despite the fact that he's a two-time premiership winning head coach and has lifted clubs, Manly and Canterbury, to 5 grand finals. Seibold was an assistant at Manly under Trent Barrett before becoming the head coach of South Sydney and taking up Brisbane's top gig a year later. Penn continued, "Anthony has been at the club before. He's demonstrated phenomenal intellect, a great tactician, and really good with the players. He has shown he's got credentials as head coach. We're still working with a pathway, whether that's assistant or to start or the full process, but right now we have identified him as someone we are very interested in, and someone who clearly had a few false starts himself, but is very capable and would do a tremendous job." Of the skirmish playing out between Hasler and Manly, Penn said, "We need to bring this to a head. We certainly have bridges to mend," he added. Now let's continue with our pieces on the Rugby League World Cup, as Group B squads have all been confirmed also, and we're going to begin with Papua New Guinea, as the Cummels have prolific South Sydney try scorer Alex Johnson and Melbourne back Justin Olam and Xavier Coates headlining the experienced Cummels squad for the upcoming World Cup. Johnson, the back-to-back Ken Irvine medalist, as the NRL's leading try scorer, and Olam and Coates will be joined by a host of familiar names, including Reece Martin, Lachlan Lamb, Danny McDonald, Watson Boas, and Wellington Albert. I wanted players with experience, but I also couldn't look past the players that did well in the Pacific Test, amongst coach Stanley Tappen said. The bond they made and the sense of loyalty for winning that match is something to keep together. Players with the right attitude were the ones picked because that's what's important for the longer camp. The players in the UK have all been part of Cummels' teams in the past, and whenever they've worn the jersey, none of them have let Papua New Guinea down. They are all in good form and have all played together before, so getting them settled into camp shouldn't be an issue. While the 3 from the NRL are certainly the headliners for the Papua New Guinea squad, they still have some quality, with former South Sydney and now Leeds acting halfback halfback Lachlan Lamb being included as the number 7, and with everyone been looking to play off him, and Championship Player of the Year also at Lee, Edwin Apape has been named in the squad. Otherwise, it is the Cummels squad that play in competitions like the Queensland Cup and the New South Wales Cup, but they're sure to put on a performance with their skill aggression and agility. The second team that we're going to look at is Wales, and their squad for the Rugby League World Cup has been confirmed and includes 2 sets of twins plus another 2 brothers. Also present in John Keir's 24-man squad is Anthony Walker, who's ruled out of the 2017 Global Gathering in Australia with a brain abnormality that had been with him since birth and was discovered just days before the event. He was forced to retire from the sport, but was given all clear to return in 2020, and back into the international arena he comes. Looking at the squad, Ben and Rhys Evans become the first ever twins to represent Wales at the Rugby League World Cup in 2013, and they return once again this time around. They have been joined by twins Connor and Curtis Davies. Completing the trio of siblings are the brothers James and Ollie Olds, who both play their club rugby in Australia. The squad will be led by captain Elliot Keir, who will emulate former Whitchurch High School classmate Sam Warburton in skippering his country at a World Cup, after the latter did the same in the 2011 and 2015 Rugby Union World Cups. Footballer Gareth Bale is also in the same school, and he's also poised to captain his country at a World Cup later this year. There are 2 uncapped players in the side in the form of Caleb Aikins from Leigh and Kyle Evans from Wakefield. Wales will be based in Preston during the tournament and have warm-up games that are just finished against Lebanon. They will then kick off their campaign against the Cook Islands on October the 19th. We'll have further group matches against Tonga and Papua New Guinea. And the last team that we're going to look at ahead of the World Cup, and the last team in Group D, is Tonga, my dark horses for the entire tournament. Tonga coach Christian Wolff, who you see here, had chosen 38 players in an extended squad a couple of weeks ago, and faced a difficult task to trim the number down to 24 before the tournament, with Gold Coast Titans star David Fafita being named in a powerful Mate Mate squad. Fafita is one of the new faces yet to represent the Pacific nation, and the former Queensland origin forward joins a squad headed by Cowboys lock Jason Tamalolo, Warriors prop Adim Fanua-Blake, Dolphins bound Storm second rower Felice Kafusi, and Sharks centre Seal Sifa Talake. Former Bulldogs back Will Hapuate is one of 5 Super League players chosen in the squad, including 3 from Wolves St Helens team that won their 4th consecutive premiership: Hapuate, Conrad Hurrell and Ignatius Party. But Party missed out after the squad were whittled down to 24. Rabbitohs forward Kiona Kolamatangi, Tavita Totola, Saliva Havili and David Saluka Fafita have been named in the squad also, along with the trio of Sharks players, including Talake, Andrew Fafita and Sione Katoa, who was sidelined by a knee injury. While Katoa has been declared fit for the World Cup, Sydney Roosters second rower Saliti Tupanua is out after rupturing his ACL. There's also clouds among players like Roosters winger Daniel Tupou, who has a groin injury, and Broncos centre Katoni Staggs, who has a shoulder problem. But only Tupou is the one that made it out of those 2 players. There are also a few players missing from the squad that were planned to be in there from the Super League. Castleford Tigers Mahe Fanua finished the season with an ankle injury. York City's Atta Hingano are notable omissions, and Hull's Manu Ma'u has a broken arm. But the squad includes 13 survivors from the 2017 World Cup campaign that changed the face of international rugby league. After beating the Kangaroos in Australia's last test match in 2019, Tonga are number 2 in the International Rugby League rankings, and Wolf believes the Island Kingdom can be amongst the victors of the Paul Berriere Trophy at Old Trafford on November the 19th. I certainly know that at some stage, provided we will reach our potential and play it to our potential, we are going to get a great opportunity to be part of one of those games against one of those teams, Wolf told Rugby League World Cup 2021.com. The Tonga players were to play for Tonga, want to play for Tonga, and that's a great position for us to be in. The team we're going to put together for Tonga, that's something to get excited about and look forward to, because I think we've got a squad that's going to be very hard to beat. Our challenge is to reach our potential. And to end the episode, we look away from the Rugby League World Cup at the Super League, as Wakefield have announced the appointment of James Ford as their assistant coach, whilst also confirming Mark Applegarth's full backroom team for the 2023 Betfred Super League season. Ford joins Trinity from York City Knights, where he has been the head coach since 2015. In 2018, Ford guided York to the League One title and successfully finished third during his first season back in the Championship. This year, he steered them to the playoff semi-finals, securing their first ever playoff win at the Championship level. Trinity head coach Mark Applegarth has known Ford for a number of years and is looking forward to working with him this coming season. Myself and James grew up coaching together at Wakefield College, and he's gone on to do brilliant things at York, said Applegarth. He complements me really well in terms of our strengths, and I think he'll be a great addition to the group. He's a real technical coach, good at detailing, speaks well in front of a group, and is a real thinker of the game. I'm delighted to have him on board, and I think he'll be a quality addition. Ford himself expressed his excitement at the opportunity to work for Wakefield Trinity and Applegarth once again. Mark is someone I know really well and I'm excited to work with him again, said Ford. I was always impressed with his work ethic alongside numerous other qualities and characteristics, so when he offered me the opportunity to come to Wakefield, I was extremely keen to get on board. Mark has spoken about the challenges we'll face, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know everybody at the club and working together on these challenges. I'm a West Yorkshire lad and I understand how people in and around Wakefield feel about their rugby. I'm honoured and privileged to work with all of you. 2 other names added to the Wakefield coaching team for the first team. There has been the announcement of and the appointment of Andreas Leiffaith as head of performance. Andreas has been involved at the club for a number of years, overseeing the athletic development of academy and scholarship players. He has now taken a role full-time at Trinity, having been a senior lecturer in biomechanics at York St John's University. He is on the left. Completing the performance team is Joel Fulford, who returns to the club as a first-team strength and conditioning coach, and Matt Cook, who specialises in speed work. Speaking on his new role as the head of performance, Leiffaith said, "In my new role as head of performance, I'm looking forward to continuing my journey at Wakefield Trinity. Having worked at the club for several years, I'm pleased to add my experience to commit a committed and progressive group of staff who are undoubtedly here to support the players and help them maximise their potential. Myself, Joel and Matt are all really looking forward to being part of this journey." Completing his staff, Matt Nicholson joins the club from Keighley Cougars, and he has become the new head of youth taking over from Applegarth in his position. He is keen to get started and work with the team. I'd like to thank Mark and Michael for the opportunity to lead and continue to develop Wakefield Trinity's junior setup, said Nicholson. Over the past few years under Mark, the academy system has proven it to be worth its weight in gold in terms of producing talented young local players who then go on to feature in Super League. Ultimately, my goal is to maintain and further develop this process to ensure that we at Wakefield Trinity continue to provide opportunities for young talent to flourish and represent the city of Wakefield in Super League, and hopefully earn further honours within Rugby League. I'm really looking forward to linking up with the Academy head coach Jay Pitts and Scholarship head coach Jamie Field, as well as the rest of the coaching and backroom staff at Wakefield, to provide the best possible environment for our young players to learn and develop as both rugby league players and people. And that's it from another episode of Held Dominance. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking that nice little notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's episode. Manly fans, do you think he will sue the club, or do you think that he'll be settled out of pocket once he, if he gets replaced? Is it going to be Seabolt or Hannay? Don't know. Tonga, do you agree with my assessment? Dark horses for the Rugby League World Cup? Wales, lots of brothers, lots of twins. What can you expect? There's a close-knit community down there. Not in a bad way, but hopefully for the growth of Rugby League. And finally, Wakefield, are you happy with the announcements that have come out? Kind of interesting. Drop down the divisions to bring up these improved these coaching staff, but hey, let's see if it works before we knock it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. I'll end the episode as I normally do by wishing you all the best, so please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.